This is on trail day number 97. I'm leaving the Cranberry Stream campsite. I had my hammock up between those two trees. It's Monday, September 28th of 2020. The goal for today is to do about 14 miles. I forget the name of this something horn lean-to, I think. That's where we're going. Let's see, Little Bigelow lean-to. It's just over the Bigelows. So the Bigelow mountain range is what we're hiking today. I'm getting a little bit of a late start. It's about 11 o'clock. The camping early and getting up early didn't work out too good. For some reason I was restless last night. I'd sleep for about an hour or so and then wake up. But anyway, we're going to do the 14 miles today, even if it gets dark. It's 14 today and then like 17 tomorrow. Which there is a campsite past the lean-to. Once you go over the Bigelows, it's kind of downhill and flat. So I may go ahead and do 16 today. And that'll give us like a 16 tomorrow. Because tomorrow should be fairly flat. I don't think today is going to be that bad. The Bigelows, they really don't look too bad on the elevation profile, but you just never know. The steep parts look like they're short, so. And that campsite had a privy, and then the water source isn't too far north on the AT. Had a good water source right there, and there's the official 2,000 mile marker. Probably put there a couple of years ago, so it's a little outdated now, but we passed the two homemade ones out of rock yesterday, probably the 2018 mile marker and then the 2019, or the 2019 and the 2020, sorry. We'll get a few views today. Be sure to check those out. Last night I had like a 35% chance of rain at 7 this morning, but that dissipated overnight. It never rained. There's not supposed to be any rain tomorrow, but it's 100% on Wednesday still. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to see rain on Wednesday. But Wednesday should be a short, like 3 or 4 mile day, so that'll be fine. Our first little view of the day. Some nice color thrown in with the evergreens. So the trail hasn't been too bad. Had a couple of little steep spots. It was just dirt or rock staircase, nothing technical or anything. Now it's kind of flattened out a little bit. I'm sure not for long. There's kind of warm today, but at least there's a breeze. So that's the trail going south, just came up that. And that's the trail going north. We're about 3/4 of the way up. Been 2.5 miles, 2.25 miles, something like that. So in typical fashion, the steepest part's always when you get to the end. So actually making pretty good time considering I've been going uphill. Once I get above this, then it flattens out for a little while. And then I have the horn. This kind of steep looking short. And then one more little peak. And that's it. So I'm hoping to be done with the mountain climbing by about 3. And then the rest of the day I can cruise flat or downhill right into camp. Or at least that's the plan. Nothing ever works out as planned though, so. But I'm still glad that I waited till today to do this part. If I'd have done it last night, it'd be getting dark about right now. So, flat and downhill in the dark tonight would be preferred over going up something like this in the dark. Which this is doable, but still. This spot here may get a little technical. Not too bad. You can see how in a lot of places like this where they kind of stack and wedge rocks. I mean, that could be natural, but to some extent. Yeah, it wasn't so bad. So there should be a view or two coming up here shortly. And then we'll get to the lean-tos I had originally planned on going to last night. I may stop there and have a snack break before climbing the horn. It's clearing out up ahead in order to have a view shortly. A little bit of a view through the trees. I'm not seeing much of one, so it's probably not coming through on the camera very good. It's a nice little camp spot though, right off the trail. Little side trail here. It's probably a view. Yeah. Not bad. So this is the second official viewpoint just before getting to Horns Pond Lean-To. Assuming that's Horns Pond. So we made it to the Horns Pond Lean-Tos. It has the updated Kennebec River Ferry. So September 30th, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then that's it. And it's September 28th. But we'll make it. This is one of the lean-tos. Not much to it. Fairly simple. This is day use shelter, so I'm going to stop here and have a snack break and then continue on my way. I'm a little north of the Horns Pond Lean-To. It was a couple day hiking with their dog. I was sitting there eating my Sour Patch Kids and they offered me an apple. I took it, I ate that too. So I got 10 miles to go. And it is 2:30. And the majority of the elevation's in the next 3 miles. So I expect the next 3 will go kind of slow, but then I'll make up some time on the downside. So this is the trail I just came up. I have 0.1 miles to go to the top of the South Horn, and it's 207 foot in that 0.1 mile. Although I would prefer to go up a short, steep section like this than something long and drawn out. So you got a pretty good little view. Hadn't quite made it to the top. This is just from the trail. There was a side trail went to north Bigelows. I'm assuming that's it. That's 0.2 miles. We're still going up south. Sometimes the views are better from down below, so we'll see what we got in just a few minutes. Bigelows Mountain, South Horn, and it is windy. Has a nice view. The descent from the South Horn hasn't been bad, and it's getting better. I'm hoping once we get over this next little peak shortly to get a lot of this, but I'm not going to hold my breath. This is Maine, and this is the Appalachian Trail. I'll enjoy this while it's here. All the leaves are falling. It was kind of breezy last night where I camped. Wasn't a bad wind, but it would pick up and just make all the leaves fall. And all the leaves falling on my tarp almost sound like it was raining a couple times. It's just raining leaves. I keep thinking of all the thru hikers that was in a hurry and summited weeks ago and missing out on all this beautiful color in Maine. But I guess everybody can't drag it out. Which I'm not trying to drag it out, it's just working out that way. I have a feeling though the southern 1,200 miles are not going to take as long as the northern 1,000. Cross over Avery Peak here in a little bit. It's named after Myron Avery, the fellow that was responsible for laying out and mapping the AT originally. The trail builder, well, maintainer, I ran into a few days ago, said his daughters had brought his machete up here and like epoxied it to the mountain. So hopefully it'll still be there. That'd be kind of cool. I know his measuring wheel was at the ATC, or not the ATC, but the Appalachian Trail Museum back at Pine Grove Furnace. He said he had the measuring wheel in one hand and the machete in the other. Sometimes I feel like I need a machete. Well, I run out of that good trail. This is the climb up to the Bigelows West Peak. I got like a half a mile or something like that to this, probably, to get there. That's kind of cool how the clouds are blowing between the mountains. I have this big dark cloud just hanging over our head. Well, it's all sunny in the valley. This is what we're going up. It was flat for a good bit, and then just gradual uphill. Man, that is a view. Almost to the top. Our view is going in and out. Although you can see from below the clouds. They're just blowing up over the mountain and then kind of pooling up on this backside. Now our view over here is dissipating, and there's nothing on the other side. But it's like a gentle wind. Bigelows Mountain, West Peak, 4,150 feet. And not much of a view today. But we got some snippets. I'm going down West Bigelows. It's not so bad, but I believe that is Avery Peak ahead of us. And that is the last real climb of the day. We still have got 7 miles to go. I'm halfway done. There's several campsites between here and the shelter, but I don't know. Any miles I don't do today has to be tacked on to tomorrow. Tomorrow is already going to be a 17-mile day. So I may just have to bite the bullet and night hike for an hour or so. And that's the camping area. A nice wooden tent platform over there. Enjoy this short level stretch and then climb the pile of rocks before us and keep moving north. I know once we get down Avery Peak, the terrain is going to mellow out, so it shouldn't be bad to hike a little bit of it in the dark. Won't be like hiking Mount Madison in the dark, so. So I was kind of joking when I said the pile of rocks before us, but it's been a pile of rocks the whole way. That's the way it just came up. At least it's not super steep. And I should be at the top momentarily. Try to catch this view before the clouds close it up. Nothing on the other side. Maybe they'll blow on by and we can get another one here in a minute. I made it to the top. And there's not much of a view. I bet it'd be an awesome view just from the little bits I can see breaking through the clouds, but you can't get them all. I'll hang out a few minutes though, maybe it'll open up for us. I'll walk over there and see what that is. I'm guessing it's just a foundation of something for an old fire tower. And some survey markers there. Another one over there. I didn't see the Myron Avery machete. So it's either no longer here or it got put somewhere off the beaten path. Which, if that's the case, that'd probably be the smart thing to do. Myron H. Avery Peak of Mount Bigelow, named in honor of Myron Halliburton Avery, 1899 to 1952, whose foresight, leadership, and diligence made possible the Appalachian Trail, this 2,000-mile footpath from Maine to Georgia. Everything's Maine to Georgia because he was from Maine, so now this time it's always Georgia to Maine, but alright, so it's 6:35, so it's starting to get dark. And the original lean-to destination is 5 miles away. And there's still one more, Little Bigelow, I think. It's nothing near as steep as what we've been over today. But I guess from the clouds moisture, a lot of these rocks are wet and slick. So, as much as I don't really want to, I think for safety's sake, I should stop at the campsite up here, like 0.2 away. And do the last Bigelow in the morning. And then save any night hiking for tomorrow night to get to that last shelter before the Kennebec. Where it's nice and flat. It's going to make for a long day. Which means I'm going to have to be responsible and get up early. And get out of camp. But I can do that one day, right? I've kind of made slow progress in this notch. All these boulders from a landslide some point in the past. It's not quite my Hoosick notch, but there's definitely a lot of rocks. Now that, I'm also out of water, and I'd have to go back and look, but I don't think there's any more after this campsite for quite a while. Well, this campsite's 0.3 off the trail, which I don't particularly care for. But the gut hook's comment says the water's flowing good, so if I'm gonna walk 0.3, I might as well stay there. So that's the plan for today. As usual, plans has changed. So we will resume this journey north in the morning, because I'm almost to the campsite.